All right, guys, we're back in the building, back with some more boxing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and all that good stuff. Now, guys, first of all, I want to apologize to you guys. I've been completely out of the loop of boxing as of the last few days. I think maybe 3 or 4 days now. Had a lot of stuff going on here on the home front. Some of it unexpected, and I'm still not finished what's been going on here. Stressed about it, and I just haven't been able to concentrate on boxing. But I did want to come and make some content for the guys here who actually support the channel. I feel obligated to do it. I just didn't want to leave you guys hanging. As far as the Alexander Usyk fight, I didn't get to watch it. I had a lot of this stuff kicking off that day, so I didn't get to watch the fight. So I can't really do a reaction to the fight and of course, the controversial knockdown of Alexander Usyk by Daniel Dubois. Now, maybe I will double back, maybe watch the fight and give you guys my opinion later, but I can't do it as of now. But I do want to talk about some boxing because this is a boxing channel, and you guys, love hearing, the latest news that's going on in the sport of boxing. So I want to talk a little bit about Canelo Alvarez and him changing his tune on Terence Crawford. Now, I know I always say this on this channel. I'm going to say it again. You can never say never in the sport of boxing. You don't know when things are going to change, when dynamics are going to shift. And, boxers, their opinions may change. Now, we talked a lot about that with Terence Crawford. Willing to go up to 168 to face Canelo Alvarez, or the winner of Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo for undisputed at 168 pounds. Before, he said that, he would fight Canelo Alvarez at a catch weight, possibly 160, 158, but he wasn't willing to go all the way up to 168 to face Canelo Alvarez. Then his tune changed. And we talked about his tune changing for the simple fact that now Jermell Charlo won't be undisputed at 154 pounds. We know once he steps foot in that ring with Canelo Alvarez, he's going to be stripped of the WBO. I think Tim Tszyu does become the champion. I think he's going to face off against Brian Mendoza, if I'm not mistaken. And there goes his one opportunity to become undisputed at 154 pounds in one single fight. Now, in the fight, if he goes up to 168, whoever wins that fight, they're going to have all the titles at 168. And there is Terence Crawford's opportunity to become undisputed in a third weight class, putting himself in a league of his own. And, I mentioned that, I'm not sure, but, maybe he might walk off into the sunset if he wins that fight, undisputed 3 weight classes. That would be, the icing on the cake. What could he possibly do after that? That's a great career there. He will be in the history books if he's able to pull that off. So that's why he changed his mind. It's all about legacy and greatness for Crawford at this moment. He wants nothing but the big fights. He talks about that before. And Canelo Alvarez, you really can't get any bigger than facing Canelo Alvarez if Canelo Alvarez is able to defeat Jermell Charlo. If it's Jermell Charlo, then it'll be Jermell Charlo at 168, I'm assuming. But anyway, Canelo Alvarez was asked about, facing Crawford before Crawford changed his mind. And Canelo Alvarez said, Crawford's too small. He wouldn't get any credit. It would be the same thing as if Gervonta Tank Davis came up to 147 to face Crawford. Crawford wouldn't get any credit for beating Gervonta Tank Davis. So he kind of, that was his take on it before, I would say. Now his tune has changed. So I want to read a little bit of what he had to say here and give you guys my opinion on it. So he says, you never know in boxing. And I said that at the beginning of the video here. It's possible. Why not? If it makes sense, I'm down to do it. I don't care who is there. I'm always able to fight anybody. Look, I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter. I always say no disrespect to him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about me facing two small fighters. Charlo, he's big, and everybody's talking about me fighting Crawford, a fighter at 147 who is smaller than Crawford. So he's kind of, he's kind of going back and forth with it. I think teetering. He said it doesn't make sense for you guys to say it right now. I don't understand because you're talking about Charlo. He's 2 weight classes lower than me, said Canelo. Then you're talking about Crawford. I don't want to have credit for facing Crawford. I go up, up, down. I go up, up, down, and fight everybody out there. I think everything. He's a big fight. He's a big fighter. He has speed. He has power. He has really good moves. He has everything, said Canelo when asked what threat Jermell Charlo presents to him. Okay, so that was about Jermell Charlo there at the end. But he seems like he's a little bit more open, I think, to facing Terence Bud Crawford. Now, I think the big Achilles heel is everybody's going to talk about David Benavidez, which I did criticize Canelo Alvarez for not facing David Benavidez. A lot of people thought David Benavidez should get a shot, being a 2-time WBC super middleweight champion, and I think he should have got his opportunity as well. But let's just say he opts to fight Crawford instead of David Benavidez. I'm going to have to eat that one because Crawford, I'm a big fan of Crawford after what he was able to accomplish with Errol the True Spence Jr. And I just want to see, how far he can take it, being, the best fighter in the world. Could he go up to 168 and beat a guy like Canelo Alvarez? I would have to give Canelo a pass on that one, even though I criticized him before about this. But I think Crawford brings a lot more a better skill set to the table. I think Crawford is more experienced, of course, in fighting than David Benavidez. Although I still want David Benavidez to get his opportunity. So I'm kind of torn with that. But I could see that fight happening. I would not have a problem if Canelo Alvarez faced off against Terence Bud Crawford. I would give him his props if he won that fight, just based on Crawford's skill set. If he was able to pull that off, I would give him his props. Even Jermell Charlo. Crawford's the best fighter in the world. There's no denying it. And here's the thing. I talked about this before. Some of you guys don't, believe this, but, it's not size that wins fights. It's skills that win fights. And I think Terence Bud Crawford is more skilled, of course, than Canelo Alvarez. He's more skilled than Jermell Charlo, and he's more skilled than David Benavidez as well. And, putting on weight, if he's able to put on the weight, he's able to actually get in the ring and fight these guys. So, but anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Canelo Alvarez seeming somewhat open for the fight. I guess we just don't truly know until he faces Jermell Charlo. We're going to see what happens with that. We just have to let this stuff play out. Like I said, you never can say never in the sport of boxing. Things change on a dime, guys. So none of this stuff is set in stone. But anyway, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.